Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Gone are the days of wrestling with our favorite LJN wrestling figures, trying to convince them to stand up. What's a guy to do? I'll tell you what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get on Etsy and look up 4 Left 3D Creations and get yourself these amazing custom LJN figure stands. There is a custom stand available for every single one of your LJN wrestling superstar figures. Make your display shine by grabbing these custom LJN stands from 4 Left 3D Creations today.
Well, hello everybody, Jason of New Age Revolution Cave. It's Saturday. Oh, it's Saturday, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited that it's Saturday. You know why? Because Nup All Night is tonight. Couldn't come at a better time. Trust me, it's a little kooky upstairs today. Always is. Always is, and it's so good to be down here. So good to be down here today. Let's do Wrestling with the Past. Let's get that out of the way before I begin the Nup All Night festivities. What else? Oh, I brought down Monsters for tonight. That's right. Monsters is going on the big giant Sylvania in addition to the Twilight Zone. So we're going to do this tonight. Bunch of other stuff. Bunch of fun. Bunch of fun. Yes. All right. Let's talk Wrestling with the Past. Championship Wrestling, April 13th, 1985. And you know what? It just gets us closer and closer to Saturday night's main event. Let me see real quick when the first Saturday night's main event aired. I want to know how far away I am. How far away am I? May 11th. May 11th. So I am less than a month away from the first ever Saturday night's main event. Ooh, can't wait. The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment. And here we go. Still Championship Wrestling with the Michael Jackson Thriller entrance with Hulk Hogan's victory over the Iron Sheik. That is over a year and a half now. Well, about a year of the same intro. And I assume that they change intros when they switch to Superstars of Wrestling, which is late 85, early 86 or so. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, we'll see. Vince and Bruno, of course, welcome us. So we got Valentine, Greg Valentine, taking on a fella named Doc Butler. First time I've seen Doc Butler. And it's literally all Valentine because Butler seems to have very little talent. You can always tell the enhancement worker's experience by the way he sells, by the way he falls, by the way he takes a punch, and almost more importantly, by the way he hits the ropes. And Butler's not looking good at all. Doc Butler is not looking good at all. Valentine might have hurt Doc Butler's shoulder a little because all through the match, Butler is favoring the shoulder. Valentine works the arm in this match strangely. He's working the shoulder a lot. He's really cranking on it. And at one point, he does the move that terrified me as a kid because I thought that the wrestler would actually get his arm stuck. You know how they take the arm, they put it behind your back, they kind of wrench it up, then they body slam you on the arm. I thought as a kid that you wouldn't be able to get your arm down when it was up that high. Picture this as my back. If your arm is up this high, I didn't think that a wrestler could get the arm down. So he did that move, and it still gives me the willies, as they say. As nobody says. Nobody says the willies. Greg Valentine, figure 4, wins it. And even after the figure 4, Doc Butler grabs his shoulder after the figure 4. So he might have been hurt. We get an update on Hillbilly Jim. We'll see. He's coming back soon. I just found out. I was last week years old when I found out that Hillbilly Jim in the LA Sports Arena house show, maybe, he slipped while chasing Beefcake or Johnny V around ringside. Slipped and broke his leg. I don't know. I didn't know that. But yeah, he apparently slipped and broke his leg in Los Angeles. We got an update on Hillbilly Jim. He's coming back. One of my least favorite wrestlers, Dave Barbie, the human tree trunk. And I don't mean just because he's big. I just mean he's a tree trunk everywhere, if you know what I mean. Dave Barbie versus David Sammartino. Quick match. Barbie attacks David with his usually lumbering punches. He's not. Dave Barbie is just not. David reverses a whip into the corner and then starts that stupid rapid punching that I hate into the belly. It's almost like Popeye. Like it's a silly cartoon. He's just going into Barbie and then like throwing the face punches, which are just not making any impact whatsoever. And Dave Barbie is supposed to like dance his head around taking all these punches. It looks so dumb. And Barbie just, doesn't really know how to sell them because they're such a strange move. David actually hits the German suplex and does not kill David Barbie. Hits it fine, probably because Barbie weighs a ton and David couldn't actually flip him over on his neck and, end his life like he has two other wrestlers. David does this. I hate the Bruno Sammartino. Look, I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna get very very controversial. I think Bruno Sammartino's one of the worst wrestlers ever. I hate Bruno Sammartino matches. All he does is kick punch. That is his entire offense, is kick punch. And Bruno and David both do this terrible move where they whip the guy into the rope and then they do a kick to the gut. And it's just like this ugly, awkward looking kick. And the guy is coming forward and has to take a kick and then go backwards. And it just looks bad. If you're going to take that, maybe you should like crumple forward or go down to a knee. But most guys just fall backwards as if they just like hit a wall. I don't know. It just looks so dumb. It's the famous Bruno Sammartino kick. You've seen it a million times. Power Slam wins it, I guess. That's it. Power Slam wins it. Quicker match than usual. Now there's a little side note to this. This is in 86 or late 85, I don't know when, but David Sammartino takes on Dave Barbie in Philly in the Spectrum on a house show and submits to a bear hug in like the first 9 seconds of the match. And nobody, including the announcers, had any idea what was going on. And it was basically David Sammartino's swan song as he said, screw you, Mr. McMahon. I'm out of here. I don't know what it was about, bad pay or whatever, but he quits in the middle, not even in the middle of the match. He quits in the first few seconds of the match. I assume he told Dave Barbie, get me in a bear hug, because it just looks awkward. You lock up, you get whipped into the ropes, and Dave Barbie's got you in a bear hug. And Dave Barbie's such a dope that he says, okay, I'll get you in a bear hug, in the first 9 seconds of the match. And then David Sammartino quits. And the referee like oddly rings the bell. It's just so weird. And then we don't see David ever again. We've got an interview with the Bulldogs talking about, wanting challengers and wanting a shot at the gold. I get a little nervous at this point in the viewing because my DVD starts to freeze. And this is a problem. And it's a problem with so obviously these are 20 years old, these discs. I got them 20 years ago with tape trading. And a lot of them have 2 episodes per disc. And that's usually where I run into the freezing. And I don't know if it was a bad file back in the day or a bad transfer, but they freeze. And it drives me nuts because I can't find these episodes anywhere. A few of them are on YouTube. Yes, a few of them are on YouTube. But this one wasn't. So I was panicking. I was cleaning it. Then I brought it down here. And I put it on the old Philips. And what do you know? It worked fine. The old Philips gets things done. But I hate the disc freezing. It drives me nuts. King Kong Bundy, no cape, ladies and gentlemen. The cape might be gone. Versus Aldo Marino. All Bundy. Literally nothing for Aldo. Bruno and Vince spend much of the match talking about Bundy's size and strength. And Bruno's breaking his size and strength down like a science teacher. I mean, they literally talked the whole match about weight, about height, about, girth and body mass and center of gravity. The whole match. Usual Bundy match with the clubbing power moves. A lot of push into the corner and then big forearm across the chest. Same thing with the back, down on the back. Aldo off the ropes, runs into the shoulder of Bundy, flops down. Bundy with the avalanche, and I think the knee drop gets it. It's usually an avalanche splash, avalanche elbow, avalanche knee drop. That's the finisher for the big Bundy. We got an interview with Ricky Steamboat. Just an interview with Ricky Steamboat. Then we come back. We got Ricky Steamboat versus Rusty Brooks. What a fun match. What a fun match. They gave them some time. Rusty Brooks is outstanding. He is fantastic. And it's such an odd visual contrast. Wait, is contrast similar or different? Forget that. It's an odd visual, contrast, I think. How are they different? Or is that compare? I don't know. Compare and contrast? I don't know. It just looks strange that Steamboat is Steamboat and Rusty Brooks is an Easter egg. Like literally, he's a cantaloupe with legs. Really fun match. Brooks gets a drop kick. Brooks throws a drop kick. And again, I know that Steamboat knows what to do here by giving a lot of these bigger guys a lot of offense on him. So Rusty Brooks beats up Ricky Steamboat a lot of the match. Steamboat actually hits some arm drags, the deep arm drags on Rusty Brooks. That's visually confusing, to see Steamboat having that much momentum and power to just arm drag the big Rusty Brooks. Just your usual, comeback win for Steamboat with the chops and the chops and the chops. And then he's got Brooks down. I think he hits a drop kick. Brooks goes down. Steamboat off the ropes with a big, chop to the forehead kind of thing. And that usually sets up the leap, the high cross body. While Steamboat goes up to the top, Brooks is still laying on the ground. He's just laying there. So Steamboat hits the Superfly leap actually for the pin. And they do say, a la Jimmy Snuka. So Jimmy Snuka's still hanging around the WWF at this point. Another Piper's Pit with Cowboy Bob Orton in Madison Square Garden backstage. Orton has a black eye. I don't know if this was right after WrestleMania. Maybe they filmed a few. I don't know. But this time, they're talking very specifically about Paul Orndorff. Piper's saying, look, the person I picked has no guts. The person I picked for a tag team partner has no guts. And then he calls him for the first time, Mr. Blunderful. And that brought back a lot of memories. He calls him Mr. Blunderful for the first time. He goes on about how great Orton was. Orton was outstanding. If Orndorff just had enough strength to hold his opponent, then Orton could have hit the forearm. They would have got the pin. But Orton, or Mr. Blunderful, was just not strong enough. He just couldn't do it. He just didn't have what it took. He's been riding coattails for too long, Piper says. Orndorff's been riding our coattails for too long. So here we go. Now, Orndorff hasn't caught up yet. So we got the hatred towards Orndorff, but Orndorff has not been accepted by the good guys yet. That hasn't happened. So Orndorff's just like caught in the middle there. He's got no family. He's got no love. They're still playing replays, reviews from WrestleMania. So we get Leilani Kai versus Wendy Richter again. Last time we got Wyndham and Rotundo versus Sheik and Volkov. The show ends, I do declare, with Jim Young and Joe Mirto, who's also just a big oafy kind of guy, taking on Ken Patera and Big John Studd. I thought Ken Patera was gone by now. I guess not. When does he go nuts and get fired from the WWF and go to jail? He's still there. So it's Studd and Patera. Of course, Big John Studd is allowing the enhancers to try to slam him. So Joe Mirto, who probably could slam Big John Studd, tries and fails. And so Big John Studd tosses him around. Jim Young comes in, who probably could slam Big John Studd. He tries and fails. And so Studd tosses him around. And they bring Patera in. He continues the beating. It's really just a thrashing of Mirto and Patera and Mirto and Jim Young. And it's so strange to see Joe Mirto being tossed around like a rag doll, as they say, because he's so huge. He's this gigantic fella who's towers over Ken Patera and is very close in size to Big John Studd. But that doesn't count in wrestling land, folks. What do we got? We got, I don't know. Joe Mirto at one point gets knocked off the apron, and that leaves Patera in there with Jim Young. Patera hits the suplex on Jim Young, and then tags in Stud, who simply drops the big elbow and gets the pin. So it's a little bit of a combination move there. We get a suplex from Patera, big elbow from Stud. That ends it. And then the show ends with an interview with Jimmy Hart. Mean Gene, Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart is introducing us to King Kong Bundy and Jim Neidhart. So he's showing off his family, his Hart family. I do believe that next week we have the debut of the Hart Foundation. I believe that the 420 show? It'll be April 20th, 1980. I believe we get the Hart Foundation. I believe we got the debut, and I'm wondering what they're wearing. Is it black and blue? Remember the black and blue? It's definitely not the black and pink, but we got the Hart Foundation, I think, coming next week. So that's it. That's Wrestling with the Past. We have All-Star Wrestling next time, 4/13. And then a TNT, the very exciting Unsung Heroes episode where it's just jobbers on TNT. It's so great. Such a fun show. A couple house shows in April, and then we turn into May. We got huge things in May. We got Randy Savage and Elizabeth coming, and we've got Saturday night's main event. I'm excited to starting up all night. I'm going to post this for you. You'll watch this in the next couple of hours on a Saturday. You don't need to know that. It means nothing to you. And then I'm going to dive in to Up All Night. We also got some mail, but I'm going to show that off Monday. That's all. Good night now.